Wow, I just hopped on here to um, chat a little bit about, um, what's been going on. Today has been a very good, insightful day. Uh, I've been handling a lot of business, pretty much completed all my packing. I am ecstatic that I had a very good day today. It's been just one profound, absolutely outstanding build after the next. I started off this morning doing some organizing, shifting through and stuff, kind of rearranging my thoughts, thinking about the video I wanted to put out on my trip going from north to south. Wanted to also revisit a little bit of information on things that I talk about, you guys are familiar with, but trying to kind of coincide the information together with stuff that I've been seeing and getting more confirmation and just basically have a very good chit chat about that. What's going on, brother Nook? Welcome, brother. Um, I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the information that's been being passed through. We have got to get ourselves open to receiving or being receptive to this information. I mean, people don't understand the depth of it. They can consider it to be sometimes like a pseudo. I throw it out there so you guys have a reference to what I'm talking about. When you talk about certain things, they're like, oh, that's kind of like a little pseudo. That's a little out of the way, or that's going into something that's not really relevant, or they think these things don't matter, when most of the time the things that people think do not matter are the actual matter of fact of the things that they should be actually pertaining, or making their information be a part of them, because when we're receiving information, right, the only thing with information we have to understand is we're getting info into other insight. So when you open your mind up to receiving or retrieving information, it allows you to be receptive to more things. There's like a motherboard of or a smorgasbord of information pertaining to one particular subject. And what happens is people fail to see that, and they continue to kind of focus on the one thing that may be of particular interest to them. What usually happens is that they will have the conversations with people. They'll compare their self to other people. They'll pay attention to what's going on around them, so on and so forth. If they do that, a lot of times they're not able to focus on or concentrate on things that will make them really see or be open to their insight into certain information. Because sometimes if there's like one subject, right? We can have like three or four things that we might be able to get out of that one thing. Some people, they might see one thing, they'll get that particular piece of information and they're like, oh, I got it. Yes, I've got it now. They're running with it. I just be like, okay, you have to not be in a rush to take on so much at one time. We can have an idea that can be expounded upon, and if you do, it can take you to other areas to give you even more insight or more enlightenment that'll help you to grow. When we think about the things that are important to us, or the things that we need to focus on as far as being more enlightened, being able to grow, being able to get our energies flowing and know what we need to do to get our conscious to the state that it needs to be, basically taking it back to the original state. Let me say that. Right now, with us, we're being duped or held down into false ascension, or like, like false dimensions, false realities. As I tell you guys, the simulation that we're caught in. Being caught in the simulation, it keeps you from elevating to a state of being where you're actually dwelling within. You're being caught up in the outside of um, the physical realm, and this is the space that's able to be manipulated. There's only certain parts of this reality or certain parts of this area that can be manipulated, and when it comes to that, opening up to certain things that make you susceptible, or that make you like a magnet for these things, and trying to get those things opened up. Um, you're bringing in certain things that are continuously making the flow. Hold on, there's an airplane, guys. Okay, so you're bringing in things that are continuously making a flow for your your reality, or the simulation, or the particular matrix that you're caught up in with this ascension. So when we think about that, there's our spirit, and if you can think of the times where they'll say, we're caught in like a spiritual warfare. A lot of elderly people will say there's a spiritual war going on. Things of this nature. The spiritual war would be the battle of the mind. We hear the battle of the minds, and we're thinking about the battle of the minds. The battle of the minds would be the conscious and subconscious mind. The subconscious mind being the Lord nature self, which is the one that is tapped into the physical realm, or the physical being. The lower realm is the area that is actually controlled by the physical, because it is the brain that is actually the component that controls that particular realm, or that particular area. So if your spirit is low, or your spirit is not at a certain vibration or a certain frequency that it can't be tapped into, what'll happen is the lower vibrational frequency, which is the subconscious, will be able to take the control, or I guess maintain the control over you, and have you following into this reality, because this is the ascension that you're caught up in. If you're caught up in that one particular ascension at that time, then it's harder for you to get out of that, to find or focus on the correct ascension. These things are starting to happen early, so we're fighting these things from our youth, from the time we come here, from the time that we're born. It starts in the mother's womb, when they start to afflict the frequencies and the vibrations that the child would normally be receiving, by giving the ultrasonic waves, or doing the ultrasounds on a pregnant woman, things of that nature. There's no need for them to do an ultrasound on the baby. They're putting lights in there. There's certain rays that are shooting in there, and all they're doing is looking at the baby. Why? Why do you need to look at the baby? Oh, we're measuring the baby. We're doing this. We're doing that. Why do you need to measure the baby? You don't need to measure the baby to see what size it's going to be. It's going to be whatever size it's going to be when it comes out. So there's no need for the ultrasound. So they do the ultrasound. That starts to mess with the frequencies in the water, because the baby is in the embryo, is within the mother's placenta, and the sac is where the water is holding the child. So the frequency that is being interrupted by those waves that they send in through the ultrasound is the first part of the natural order of that child, taking them away from what's basically the natural thing for that life and the starting. Then the second thing would be when they have a child coming into the world, and the mom's laying on her back, the child's struggling to get out. They don't even understand or know the gravity of, coming out of their mom's womb naturally, because the weight, if a mom is standing and squatting, which is the normal way that they're supposed to deliver a child, if she's standing and squatting, the baby's going to come out a lot easier. So the baby's actually struggling, crawling, it's like, oh, you dilating, but push, push, tell the woman how to deliver the child. But what's happening is the baby's having a hard time getting out, because they don't know how to crawl out of the womb and fight their way out, and, things of that nature. But yeah, today there was a lot going on. I wanted to talk about my trip, and, what happened with all of the different things that I saw. I also want to show some pictures that I'm gonna have to get together. I was not able to do today, but I've been on a couple of different panels, and with the panels that I got on, they were awesome. I actually was on a panel with Brother Sanchez. There were so many brothers on there dropping jewels, dropping information, talking about so many different things that were just exciting. We had a gentleman show us a way to make some things, naturally, and not depending on what's going on with the system, providing things that we may need that we can actually build for ourselves or do for ourselves. After that, there was another panel, Aboriginal channel, that they were speaking with a elderly gentleman that's nearly 100 years old, and he was telling us a lot about the laws and how to manipulate the lies and put in the actual factual truth of your heritage or your birth, and giving you rights, and as far as like not being foreign to this land, things of that nature. That was a fantastic one. And, jumping on the panel, sometimes it's kind of hard for me to focus on this channel. My channel is very small, just like now, like the little dropper of people come in and out. Um, it's not very popular. I've just started my YouTube recently. So, I guess it takes time to build people, and making sure that the conversation is engaging enough to build the audience, so on and so forth. But I'm trying to do that now, get more and more familiar. But either way, what we have to do is make sure that we are focused on the things we need to be doing, and just taking time to get things right. I definitely want to do that. I'm gonna organize these pictures so I can do a very good video. That's why I'm not really focused on talking about the video I wanted to do today. I've been packing. It's a little hard to be on the panel or pay attention to what I'm doing with the phone when I'm moving things, packing things, so on and so forth. So hopefully tomorrow I will be able to have everything pulled together and have more of a focused live at that time. It's easier to talk on the panels when someone else is controlling, what's going on, and not having to do so much. So I'll see what happens tomorrow, if I can have all that put together, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks.